All right, so we're going to start by creating some sites for the Livingston Hotels and Resorts platform. Okay, so we're going to do this together. Again, these sites are going to be the context with which we are creating content. So it's important to know what sites we have and what kind of sites they're intended to be. Okay, so let's start by going to the control panel. All right, if you're not already logged in, if you don't have the server start up, get all of that started up. Go ahead and pause to get all that set up and come back when you are ready. All right. But when you are logged in, we're going to go ahead and open the menu, go to Control Panel, Sites, and Sites here. Okay, this is where we're going to create some of our sites that we'll be working with throughout the course. All right, so what we'll see here is we will see two sites that already exist. We have our default Livingston Hotels and Resorts site, and we have the global site, and we'll actually come back to the global site as well. Okay. All right, so let's start by adding a site for the Livingston Life. All right, so the Livingston Life will be a site where we can generate new content, blogs, articles, whatever that might be, about things like travel tips, what to bring on vacation, etc., etc. So we'll talk about that a little bit more later in a later chapter. Okay. So go ahead and click on the Add button. You'll see it at the top right here. We are going to select Blank Site. Okay, these are using site templates, and we'll talk about this in a little bit. We'll do blank site, and we will call this Livingston Life. All right, and click Save. Okay, this will generate our new site for us, and we can add some more information in here once it is complete. Okay, so now that it is processed, we have our new site here. We can add a quick description here. We could say something like the site for the Livingston Life Journal. And then we can go down and click Save. All right, we don't need to do any editing here, but you can feel free to pause and look at the options that are available to you for these different sites. All right, but from there, we're going to go ahead and add some child sites to our main Livingston Life site. So to do that, we're going to go back to Control Panel, Sites, and Sites here. And we are going to create a new Livingston Resort site as a child site of the Livingston Hotels and Resorts. So we're going to click on Options here and Add Child Site. So make sure you click Options next to the Livingston Hotels and Resorts. Add Child Site here. All right, and we're going to go ahead and hit Blank Site. Okay, that's going to be the option we're working with. And this will be the Livingston Resort at Bali. Okay, Livingston Resort at Bali. And we can go ahead and click Save. Okay. All right, for the description here, we're going to go ahead and type in here the site for the Livingston Bali Resort. Okay. All right, it's generally a good practice to add descriptions in for any of the resources you're creating, as it will not only help keep things organized, but it can help new people come in and figure out what's going on with these different resources. Okay, so this is just using a good practice. We won't do this throughout the entire course, but in some cases we will add some descriptions. All right, so we can go ahead and click Save at the bottom here as well. So this gives us an initial resort site to work with and a site for our travel blogs. All right, the last thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and create a site for the employees of the Livingston Hotels and Resorts. So this will be an intranet site. So this will be called the Livingston Loop. All right, so let's go ahead and click on Control Panel, Sites, and Sites. Okay, this is going to be its own standalone site here. Go ahead and click Add at the top right again. And this time we're going to use the intranet site template. All right, we'll talk about these a little bit more soon. So go ahead and select Intranet Site Template. Type in Livingston Loop. And go ahead and check the Create Default Pages as Private. And click Save. All right, so by making this a private site, we can maintain it as an intranet. All right, and one more step here for the membership type. We can go ahead and change this to private as well. And then go ahead and click Save. All right, so if I go back here to sites and sites, we have our main Livingston Hotels and Resorts. So that's going to be our front-facing public site. We have one resort site to work with. We have our Livingston Life site, which will be for our travel blog, and then we have our Livingston Loop, which is going to be an intranet. So each of these are going to have different uses, different audiences, and therefore different kinds of content that we'll be working with. Okay? So this gives us a good starting point. In the next chapter, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our digital asset management options. All right? So I'll see you in the next chapter.